Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Mateo. Thank you for tuning in, and today I'm going to be talking about the best travel cameras of 2018. The goal of this video is to help you make your purchase decision a little bit easier before you buy your camera for your upcoming travels. Everyone wants to document their travels, wants to take the best photographs of their vacations. And so I've selected 3 different cameras that serve different purposes, but at the end of the day, they're best for traveling. Drum roll please for camera number 1 is the GoPro Hero 5. Now, depending on your budget, you could pick any GoPro and you'd be perfectly fine for your travels. Now, I selected the GoPro Hero 5 for many reasons. One of them being the model is already a year old, meaning the price has fallen. It's a bit cheaper than when it first released, and it's not going to hurt your bank account as much as it would have when it first released. Also, they just released the GoPro Hero 6. However, that camera is fairly brand new and it's had some major issues for a lot of people, and the upgrades aren't really worth the extra $20 yet, in my opinion. They have a little bit more image stabilization, but pretty much it looks exactly the same and has almost all the features that this little GoPro has. This GoPro is incredible. I was backpacking Colombia for 3 months and it never left my side because it fits in my pocket. Whether I have a wallet in there, whether I have some keys, whether I have some documents, it still fits in my pocket. That's the best part about this little camera. It's perfect for traveling because you're always going to have it on you. Now, the camera's already waterproof. You don't need to buy the extra waterproof casing with the old GoPro model, so this is the reason why you should buy the GoPro Hero 5 above the older models. Also, you have this nice beautiful touchscreen where the menu is very easy to use. It's very user friendly. Anyone can use this camera to document their travels and take some incredible photos. And this camera is rugged. It went through, the Ciudad Perdida, the lost city with me. It went through traveling through coffee plantations. It went through water. It went through beaches. Anything you could think of, I threw it at its way and it's still working perfectly fine. So the GoPro Hero 5, depending on your budget, is probably the best GoPro model on the market right now. Maybe you can find a used one, lower that price tag, but don't spend your dollars on the GoPro Hero 6 yet. Camera number 2 is, drum roll again, the Canon G7X. Now, there is a Canon G7X Mark II, but I want to help your budget. I want to help your pockets by saving a little bit of money. And I'm going to tell you that the Canon G7X, the first edition, is still an incredible point and shoot camera. This camera has blown me away. I just recently discovered that it takes raw photos. So if you are interested in taking nice, incredible photos of your travels, shooting raw will help you out, and this little camera has that feature. Now, this camera is incredibly rugged. I have dropped it multiple times. It has some wear and tear. The screen is still perfectly fine. It's a little monster, honestly. And if you buy it used, it will probably be under $400, which will not hurt your budget too much because it will be almost as much as this GoPro Hero 5. Now, the advantage of having a point-and-shoot camera like this over the GoPro is the fact that you have more control of what your image is going to look like, what your final video or photo is going to look like. You control the settings. You could use manual settings to change the shutter speed, change the ISO, change the f-stop. This goes all the way down to 2.8. It's a beast of a little camera. Honestly, you're going to get some incredible shots. And also, the flip out screen. You can see exactly what you're filming. You can frame yourself really nicely and make sure you're always capturing what you want to capture if you're going for that selfie. Or, you could just use it to frame your shots a little bit better. Know exactly what your shot is going to look like. And also, the autofocus is incredible. This camera's autofocus is by far one of the fastest on the market, and this is just the first edition. So if you're looking for a nice point-and-shoot camera for your travels, I would go with the Canon G7X. And maybe you're looking for that Sony CyberShot, which is an alternative, the competitor to this camera. But those are a little bit more expensive, and I don't think they're worth that much extra money, unless you want to shoot 4K, which this doesn't have. Okay, everybody, so we're going to talk about the third camera, and I decided to shoot it on the G7X so you can see what this image quality looks like. And I'm using the flip screen, so I know exactly where I'm framed. Perfectly framed. Now, the third camera that I'm going to recommend is more expensive than the last 2 models that I've mentioned. The third camera I'm recommending is the Sony a6500. This camera is mainly for people who are traveling or backpacking, but they want to document their travels on a very more highly professional level, whether that be with incredible video work or some incredible still images for photography. Now, the Sony a6500 is a Sony Alpha mirrorless camera. It is the big brother to the Sony a6000 and the Sony a6300. This is a mirrorless camera. It has an APS-C sensor. You can also interchange the lenses, which makes this a much more professional camera than the other 2 that I've mentioned. However, you can shoot up to 120 frames per second, which is incredible, buttery smooth slow motion. You also have control control of your picture profile, so you can do advanced color grading to the image on your post-production when you're editing the photos or the videos. This camera is a beast. This is the main camera that I used for my Colombia backpacking trip. I took some incredible photos with this camera. I was also able to get featured on all the biggest travel Instagram accounts of Colombia while I was out there, because my photography was stepped up to such high level that people started responding to my work, and that's mainly due to this camera, the image I was able to capture. Now, it is a little bit more expensive than the other two models that I mentioned. I think right now the price has dropped to $1,100, so it has gone down a bit since when I bought it a year ago, but this camera is a beast. The electronic viewfinder, you can see exactly the image that you're about to capture in real time, which is almost a little bit freaky because I don't think any other camera has that technology in them right now other than the Sony. Also, the autofocus is very fast, very sharp, and almost never misses. This is a great feature for all the vloggers, all the junkies who travel and love to do selfie photography. This is something that is a feature you can't ignore because no other camera has that type of autofocus other than the expensive Canon cameras, which are very bulky and not travel friendly. So if you're looking to upgrade your camera for your travels, I would definitely recommend the Sony a6500. Okay everybody, so those three cameras that I mentioned in this video are the GoPro Hero 5, Canon G7X, and the Sony a6500. I believe these are the best cameras for traveling in 2018. You have the GoPro Hero 5, a very small, compact camera which houses so many incredible little features. You have the waterproof casings, you have a touch LCD screen which has an incredible user-friendly menu. You can shoot up to 4K and 120 frames per second, so that's incredible about this little camera. And I said, go with the GoPro Hero 5, not the GoPro Hero 6. If you want to buy that one, I would wait a couple months or a year when the price drops and they fix those issues that they've had with that camera. Then I mentioned the Canon G7X, perfect point and shoot camera. First edition is still incredibly fine, very rugged. You have that raw ability to shoot photos with. You have that up to 1.8 aperture that this camera opens up to. Has incredible autofocus and also fits in your pocket, which is something that you should not be taking for granted for, because it will always be with you. You'll always be capturing those memories and you won't miss out or anything. And you can also control the menu settings, which upgrades a little bit from the GoPro, and it's around the same price as the GoPro Hero 5, so I would definitely recommend looking into the Canon G7X. And lastly, the camera I'm shooting with, obviously a little bit more professional, a little bit more higher quality of an image, and rightfully so because of its price tag. And you can interchange the lenses. Is a Sony a6500. You have that 4K footage, you have that picture profiles to edit and color grade a certain way to get that mood that you want for your videos. And you know, it's just a little powerhouse, something that you could shoot up to mini docs with, depending on where your ambitions are when you are traveling. So look into the Sony a6500 or its little brothers as well. I hope this video helped you guys out with purchasing your travel camera for your upcoming travels in 2018. Different price tags, different purposes. At the end of the day, they're all perfect for traveling. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like. Make sure to leave a comment below. What cameras are you looking into for 2018? What cameras should I have included in this video? Maybe cameras that I'm not even aware of myself. So please leave some feedback in the comment section below. All these cameras will be listed in the description box, or you can check them out on my kit. Thank you for watching. Peace.